Welcome back to the Michigan Sports Media Network podcast. And today, it's Mock Draft Monday, baby. The draft is this Thursday. We are here. It is finally draft week. And, we wanted to do something a little bit different, okay? I know the last mock draft that we did was pretty crazy. We did some wild stuff, but I still feel like we left some meat on the bone. You know what I mean? We could have done a little bit more, I think. Call me crazy, but I think there was some crazy left to be had. But with that being said, today we're going to do a war room style mock draft, which basically just is this. We're the GMs of the team. This is what we would do if we were the GM. We did nothing before this. This is going to be live. You're going to see our negotiations. You're going to see our reasoning behind the picks. Shoot, you might even see us arguing over some picks. Who knows? A lot could happen in this mock. So stay with us. It could be a long ride. It could be a short one. We don't know yet. It might be 3 hours. It might be 45 minutes. Let's see what happens. And with that being said, folks, the Tennessee Titans are now on the clock. And as the GM of the Tennessee Titans, I am making the first overall pick available because, I like Cam Ward. I like him. I don't love him. So we are willing to move down from number 1. Do we have any interest from any of the other GMs? Nobody wants to come get Cam Ward? Brad is shaking his head no as the Giants GM, so that to me was the only team that I thought was really going to be willing to trade up. And you know what, Brad? Just because I like you, I'll offer you anyway. I just want to see what your thoughts are about this, okay? I will offer you the Titans' first overall pick, okay, for the Giants' first, second, and first next year.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, with that being said, the Titans are going to be forced to stick and pick here. And I call me crazy, man. I'm almost going to pass on Cam right here. If I were the Titans GM, I would really, really be thinking about it. But I do like Cam, and I think he's got potential. So the Titans, with the first overall pick, select Cam Ward, the quarterback out of Miami. And now, like I said, I don't love him as a prospect, but I like him enough. And this is a quarterback, light quarterback class here. So we get our guy, and hopefully he is our guy for the future. We have seen the Titans take quarterbacks before, namely Marcus Mariota. That just did not work out. So we'll see how it goes. But with that being said, the Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
Well, the Cleveland Browns are not to be anticlimactic, but I think we're going to take Abdul Carter, the best player in the draft, position of need.
So, question is, are you willing to trade down here?
No,
No?
not unless
Okay.
I guess everyone has their price, but I think he is exactly what Cleveland needs. Now, as you said, if I was the GM of Cleveland, this is what I would take. I don't think this is what they're going to do, which is why I just shrug my shoulders and say that's why they're the Cleveland Browns. But it just makes far too much sense between the pass rush tandem, and as I mentioned on the prior mock draft, Carter's rookie contract will be up pretty much when they're getting rid of Myles Garrett anyways, so then his money will come off the books. Everything just lines up perfectly. And between then and now, you just have a very nasty pass rush duo.
Yeah, and that's very valid. I mean, I don't hate you at all for not wanting to move down. And I mean, that's why the Patriots were trying to move up. We really liked Abdul Carter. I think he is 1A to Travis Hunter's 1B of this draft class. But with that being said, Abdul Carter, you are a Cleveland Brown. Now, Brad, before you state your pick, the Patriots are still interested in moving up. So right now, the Patriots would be willing to offer you, let's see here, we would be willing to offer you the 4th pick and the 77th pick straight up for pick number 3. move down one spot here?
Can't do it.
That's valid. Is there something you'd be willing to do to move down from that 3 spot?
Nope.
All right. I don't hate you for it in a draft that is not very star heavy. I totally understand you not necessarily being keen on moving down. So with that being said, the Giants are on the clock, and I have a very, very good feeling of who they are going to select.
Two-way player, best player in the draft, Colorado University, Travis Hunter.
Yep. That figures. And, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen there. Unfortunately, the Patriots could not get a trade to go here. I will say I did think we were going to have a little bit more of a chance to trade up, but you guys just were not going for it, which is totally understandable because once you get past Travis Hunter, it does seem like, the draft, I guess Ashton Gianti is still a blue chipper, but it's a running back, so it's a little bit harder to make that pick. But with that being said, the New England Patriots are on the clock, and we are interested in moving down now, actually. Call me crazy, but I would totally be willing to move down. And, I think I hear my phone ringing, and I think it's Chicago. I think Chicago is interested in trading up here for Ashton Gianti to try to jump both Jacksonville and Las Vegas for the only blue chipper left. Now, I don't know if I'm going to take this trade here, but if I'm Chicago, I love Ashton Gianti, don't get me wrong, so I would be willing to trade up for him. However, I do also believe this is a super, super deep running back class, so I'm not willing to give up, a quarterback's ransom for a player of Ashton Gianti's caliber. However, we are sitting at the 10th overall pick, and we're trying to trade all the way up to 4. So we're going to have to offer something decent, and we do have 2 second-round picks. So the Bears offer the 10th pick, the 41st pick, and and a next year second rounder to move up to the 4th pick. As the New England Patriots GM, that I don't know if I can take that simply because I do believe both of the guys that I like will be gone by the time the 10th pick comes around. However, let's see here. What does Chicago have? They offered 10, 41, and next year's 2 to move up. I want 39 instead of 42, or 41, sorry. And I also would like, let's see here. I want next year's 3. So New England, as the GM of New England, we rebuff that offer, and we offer the 4th overall pick for the 10th pick, the 39th pick, their next year's 2nd and 3rd. However, I don't know. Let's see here. I am not hating that as Chicago, personally. Now, what do you guys think? If that trade were to go down, do you think that's a realistic haul for Chicago to have to give up?
I think it's an overpay by Chicago, personally.
I think it's
Yeah.
Ryan Poles being Ryan Poles.
Yeah. And,
No, that's true.
I would
That's
agree.
true. So yes, it is realistic then.
No, and I would agree because
What I
as the
mean.
GM of Chicago, I don't think I would trade up quite that much for a running back simply because this is a very deep running back class. So with that being said, the Patriots are going to be forced to stick and pick, and call me crazy, guys, but I am going to go Armand Membaugh. Call me crazy. I think he's the best tackle in this draft. I
Yes.
liked him a lot before his testing numbers happened, and I like him even more afterwards. So Armand Membaugh is the pick for the New England Patriots. Just an absolute stud. I think he's got the highest ceiling of any tackle in this class. Josh Simmons, you could argue, but that injury, you never really know. So with that being said, the Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock, and Chicago's willing to trade up. Just putting that out there.
Man.
Interesting. I'm at least willing to hear the offer because there's several holes on the Jaguars roster. So
Right.
I would at least be able to hear you out. And what would you give
So
me for the offer?
I will give you the same offer or a similar offer that I gave for pick number 4. I'll give you pick number 10, pick number 41, and our next year third.
10, 41, or 5. You said 41. Okay, so 41,
And next year's 3.
17.
So a first, second, and third, essentially, for five pick move up in the first.
Yeah, actually, we have a ton of holes, so I will, as the Jaguars GM, accept that.
There we go, baby. All right. So, with that being said, let's make this trade happen.
So it is 5.
10, 41, and next year 3
Next 3.
to, where are we at? Jacksonville. Oh, I see. Okay. I have not used this mock draft before, so
Should I
bear with
decline
me.
the trade just so that way it doesn't fuck up the?
No. Definitely not. I will figure this out before I let Ashton Gianti go through my fingers, buddy. Let's see here. So we got third. All right. And your trade, 10, 41, and next year 3 for pick 5. All right, baby. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Ashton Gianti is a Chicago Bear. Thank you. Now, Ben Johnson is doing his best Brad Holmes impression right now, smacking the shit out of that table, buddy, because we just got us a blue chipper in Chicago. We're coming for you, NFC North. You thought you were okay before. We got a new O-line. We got the best running back, could be in the NFL. Who knows? We haven't seen him yet. I'm just saying. He said, I want to be Saquon Barkley. I'm trying to come win now. And we're gonna, baby. Bear down. Oh my God, I almost just puked in my fucking mouth saying that, by the way.
Yeah, and I want to fuck Halle Berry, but it ain't gonna fucking happen.
It just did. It just did. Yeah, that's valid.
No,
But
he
I
could have
regret this
Gentry,
trade
I'm
already
saying.
just for that.
Gentry is not going to be the best running back in the NFL. Probably never.
I mean, I could see it. It's not crazy, but I do agree he's probably not going to be that fast, that's for sure. But the Bears, I do feel like, and call me crazy, I think the Bears did a good job with this trade. A second rounder when we had an extra, and then a next year 3 for a blue chipper who, I mean, clearly is a top 5 talent in this draft. So Chicago is very happy about this. I'm sure Jacksonville feels pretty good about it too because they're not in a great spot right here. I mean, think about it. They were pretty much forced to take Mason Graham here, and he might even fall to 10. I mean, think about it. I don't know really who's going to draft him outside of Jacksonville in the first 10 picks. So you guys might have done pretty well for yourselves too. If you're watching this, it's because you love sports. If you love sports, why not show that love with some new gear, like the 2 jerseys behind me? Fanatics has a lot of stuff on sale right now, and if you go down in the description, click the link of whatever team that you want, it'll take you to the Fanatics page, buy some stuff, and we get a small portion. It'll help us out, and you'll get some discounts on some good gear. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock, and this is going to be a lot different than what we've seen before from them because Genty is always the pick. So what are we going to do here, Brad?
6th pick in the NFL draft. Las Vegas Raiders select Mason Graham.
All right. I don't hate it. I do not hate it at all.
Pair
I
him with
love
Max
it.
Crosby, athletic, strong, tall, big, will fuck you up. Sorry, Jacksonville. It was a bad trade, anyways.
No, I really like that pick, Mason Graham to Las Vegas, and I do like it with Ashton Genty off the board too. I think that's a pretty good pick there. Now 7, the Jets are on the clock. We all know my guy Armand Membao is off the board here. However, there's some guys I like left, Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks, namely. Now, does anybody want to trade up here? I know Jacksonville just traded down. Maybe they would have a scenario where they have someone they would like, which is not probable, but it's not impossible, I guess.
Honestly,
Uh,
we wanted more picks, and we're happy with that. We're not going to trade up to give them away.
for sure. Brad, you good on trading?
I'm good.
All right. So, with that being said, I think we will take, I'm going to take Will Campbell here. I do really like Kelvin Banks, but I do think Will Campbell is the bona fide left tackle of this draft, and I think that's what the Jets need the most. So we get Will Campbell, the number 1 left tackle, and I am feeling pretty good about that. Even with Memba off the board, usually he only fell to us because Campbell went at 4 to New England. So with that being said, the Carolina Panthers are now on the clock.
Yeah, not going to lie, I was hoping Campbell fell one more spot to Carolina. Um, let's
Yeah, they would
see
love him over
here.
there in Carolina.
Yes, they would. Yes, we would. You know what? We have a host of needs. I have been taking receiver with most of these mocks. However, once again, this is a mock of what we would do,
Ring,
and
ring,
with the
ring.
way.
Ring, ring,
Oh,
ring. Ring, ring, ring.
yeah. What you got going on?
The Houston Texans are calling. They're interested in moving up here for a tackle. Now, I know it's a huge move up from 25 to 8.
Oh,
But I
shit.
could see the Panthers. Yeah, it's a huge move. I could see the Panthers potentially interested. However, my offer is probably not going to be that great, so we might as well hurry this up. Because I don't know if I
That's
really
steep, but
want to
yeah.
give up a ton. So let's just see here. Let's just look at what the Texans even have. Um, let's see. Where the hell is
Or just
Houston?
so you know, I do have the point system up on a tab on my computer.
Okay.
And to go from 25 to 8, you need about 700 points, which is the equivalency of the 26 overall pick.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So unless you have a second first round pick, because even
I
your
do
second round
not.
pick is only 300 points.
Yeah, so my offer would be something like this. Um, the 25th pick overall, and then the 26th pick in the second round, and then next year's second rounder.
No,
Okay,
not for
valid.
that big of a jump.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah, if you were going from like 15 to 8, maybe, but not from 25 to 8.
Right, right. Yeah, and really the only reason I don't love moving up all the way up to here to get a guy is I do love Kelvin Banks, don't get me wrong, but there's a couple guys I like a little bit later too, so I'm definitely willing to stand pat and let you guys pick here.
All right, then with the eighth pick, I will have the Carolina Panthers selecting, let's go Sanders, quarterback. No, I'm just playing. Um, let's
He
go
could.
Jalen
He
Walker,
could.
defensive end, Georgia.
I like that.
Just go with one of the best overall remaining prospects.
Solid pick. Now the Saints are on the clock here, and let's see. I think, nah, never mind. Saints are on the clock.
With the ninth pick in the NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints take Jade Barron, cornerback, Texas.
All right. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars are right back on the clock, and I'll tell you what here, James. I think the Dolphins are going to be interested in moving up. So,
Only three
it's
spots
only a
back.
few picks. Yeah, it's not that crazy. So I would offer you pick 13 and pick 98.
Ooh.
Excuse me. 150. You said 98.
Yes. And obviously feel free to counter if that's not enough or whatever the vibe is with that.
I don't hate it. It's a little bit undersell on the points, but it's within striking distance, I'd say. I'm just trying to look at because there's two guys I want, but I'm dropping back three picks. So I'm trying to see what these other teams in between us would potentially take, and if
Right,
one
right.
of my two would still be on the board. Um, let's see. Let me double check
I
on
will
this.
say I think I would stand pat with this because I do feel pretty good about someone else being there at 13. So I do think 13 plus 98 would be my final offer.
Okay. Oh,
The decision-making process is always fun when it comes to
it's one of
trading.
those things where, like I said, it's how my process is so different from other people's because I do like having an abundance of riches at one or two positions.
Hmm.
And
I
I
mean,
like,
especially as a team like Jacksonville too. They have a lot of different spots that they could use some help.
and since we are doing this live, the whole War Room talk, I'll try to narrate my thoughts a little bit here. I am stuck between Will Johnson, corner from Michigan,
Mm.
and McClellan, the wide receiver from Arizona.
Mhm.
I think giving um, Trevor Lawrence another legitimate receiver to pair with Brian Thompson Jr. will be a hell of a one-two punch for that team.
And I'll tell
But
you, as the team trying to trade up with you, I do believe he would be there at pick 13. Just saying.
No influence on James there, huh? Wow. This ain't fucking draft day, dude. This is realistic.
because I know there's going to be people, whoever was watching this, being like, "Why the hell would they take a receiver when they just took one?" And I'm like, "So they can have both." It's one of those situations where I would be really curious, and I know I'm going to put myself in hot water with some people. I would be really curious to see Matt Millen's draft strategy come to life with the main caveat of picking the right players.
Right.
See how that works out for you. 2 receivers in 2 years. But I digress. So
But like I said, I'm like I know we've seen it and it didn't work out, but that's is it because the strategy is bad, or is it because Charles Rogers and Roy Williams just aren't that good? Slash, Rogers had his off the field
Well,
issues and
the Eagles
yada
can
yada
tell you
yada.
that they took 2 first-round receivers back to back, and they're doing just fine. So,
Yeah, and like I said, I'm like it's about who you take. I mean, hell,
yep.
if the Lions instead of those guys, because I know we took Mike Williams from USC over shit. I wasn't ready for this. There was a perennial Pro Bowl receiver that went after him. I'm spacing. But I'm like, if you just pick the right guys instead of the wrong, the strategy might have worked. But you just
Right.
picked overall bad players, so it didn't.
Right.
Let me check.
are you sure McMillan's the best receiver in this draft?
Good. That's a very great question, and
I
I
think
think that's
he
definitely
is the
up
best
for debate.
receiver available. Because I would say Hunter is the best receiver in the draft. Um,
True.
Burden's a hell of a player.
All right, I'm sorry. Second best. You're right. Second best
Yeah, as I was
receiver.
saying, like Hunter's
I
the
would
best.
I would personally put Matthew Golden over McMillan at this point, but just barely. But even then, I can see why other people would have McMillan over Golden. It just depends on the type of receiver I think you're needing right now.
Yeah. And the more I just pulled up Jacksonville's depth chart, and corner is pretty barren. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stay here, and I'm just going to draft Will Johnson, corner from Michigan. Between
Okay.
the trade down and getting, in my opinion, the top corner, because I do think he is a better corner than Hunter.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
All
I'll
right.
lock in
So
Will
Will
Johnson,
Johnson.
corner, Michigan.
So the Dolphins offer the same exact package to San Francisco. Pick
Uh,
13 and pick 98.
Dolphins want Calvin Banks.
Nope. We're going Shador, baby. Shador all day. The
well,
Colorado Hall
San
of Famer,
Fran
as they
and
call him.
Dallas are not taking Shedeur, so I'm not a Brock Purdy fan at all. But you're not. But San Fran's not taking him. Actually, I
Nah.
control San Fran, so San Fran is not taking him. And then I doubt Dallas is. So
Nah.
if that's your true target, he'll be there for you. But now I'm San Francisco on the clock. And once again, I look at receivers. They just traded away Deebo Samuels. There's
Hmm.
been trade rumors about Ayuk. He's not a big fan of the contract they gave him. Um, but they also need O-line really bad.
Yeah, that's
And
very
once
true.
again, dating back to my loving having two main pass rushers. I mean, there's still Mike Green here. There's still Mikael Williams. Um,
Shamar Stewart.
Trent Williams was playing in the first Obama administration. Just saying.
Yep.
he might have even been playing in the Bush administration.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been
The
playing
oft
through
Um,
for 20.
injured Trent Williams.
Yep, who is going
yeah.
to retire pretty quick.
After this year, he said Trent Williams. I mean, how
All right,
much
all
many
right, all
more
right.
answers do I have to give you to the test?
All right. You just told me, Shadur Sanders. No. Yeah, I'll take Kelvin Banks, tackle
Oh,
Texans.
All right, well, the Dolphins do not get their guy. So now the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
sorry, had an idiot calling in. All right, Dallas. That's me, right?
Yes.
All
Not
right.
me.
So, with the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tatoria McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona.
All right, I like it. Get the some people's favorite receiver. I do like him in Dallas a little bit. However, now the Dolphins are on the clock, and we would be willing to trade down if anybody is looking to trade up at all at this point in the draft.
Um, Let me look at my
Some players that
teams.
might be worth it, but could see Pittsburgh swooping in for somebody here, possibly.
Nah, Pittsburgh's good.
The only team that would have to jump for a
Pittsburgh
quarterback is
has a
Pittsburgh.
lot of holes. That's why Mike Tomlin is one of the best, if not the best, coach in the NFL, because he puts it together with spit and glue. Because there's about 7 positions that Pittsburgh could use.
True.
Yeah,
So
Pittsburgh
that's a
reminds
no on
me
the.
very much of Tigers AJ Hinch. You just kind of mix and match, and you just make it work.
So that's nobody wants to trade up here.
I'm looking over my teams. There's no one with a glaring hole because now we're starting to get later in the first round, so I'm starting to get to my
Right.
better teams. No,
This
there's a
is
lot
not
of
a
players left
tradable
on the board.
draft. It's just not a tradable draft. I think there's 4 blue chippers, and I think no 3. I only think there's 3.
Yeah.
The rest is not worth trading up for. Capital, capital, capital.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good on trades.
All right. Well, that means the Dolphins are going to go with a guy we really like. He's coming off an injury, though. Tackle Josh Simmons. I think he would be the #1 tackle in this draft if he was healthy. So, Dolphins could have got a steal here. we shall see. But with that being said, the Colts are now on the clock.
Yeah, that's a great pick. And Simmons could easily be the steal of the draft. Easily.
Agreed. And a lot of people have him falling out of the first round based on his injury, which
What?
I think is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
No injury. He's
know
a top
what?
5 pick.
Yeah, agreed.
Since once again, just all this is open, and stop me before I go on the tangent if we don't have time because I know this might be long as is. But in terms of if he's starting to fall out of the first round, I almost wonder if there's just the lines would take him if he's sitting there at 28.
Yeah,
Decker's
yeah,
getting
they
I
would.
would
older,
hope so.
and
He's
Running to
exactly
40.
what Brad Holmes likes. He's a fucking blue chip prospect that tore his ACL. I mean, that sounds like Brad's MO at a position we don't
You
really
said
need
what?
right now.
we could use the guard. We could use the tackle. What if Taylor Decker could be a cap casualty cut next year?
Hey, I don't disagree with that.
So yeah, I'm like, I don't see him falling out of the first. I mean, like I said, we'll take him. I'm not in charge of the Lions, but I mean, shit, I'll take him.
I'd take him too.
The Cardinals are interested in trading up here, possibly if Colts are interested in moving down a couple.
Only 2 spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hear you out. What you got for me?
I will offer you 16, 115, and 220. Well, let's see. What 7th rounder do you have? What number is your 7th?
That is the Colts. My 7th is 232.
Okay. So I will offer you 16 and 115 to start the negotiations. If you have a counter.
That's only 30 points off on the chart. Colts have a lot of fucking needs. And
I'll throw in our
there's-
seventh swap. You'll move up like 8 picks in the 7th round.
I'll throw in a bag of footballs for you too.
Oh shit! Deal footballs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Colts could use some cost cutting help.
Hey, those
Are they
7,
deflated a
7
little,
spots
or are
in the
they?
7th.
Yeah,
they
right.
used?
True.
I mean, what are we talking
Right.
about?
Are they Tom Brady footballs? Because
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we're talking about moving up 7 in the 7th round. We're really talking.
hey, that's where the value is, man.
Okay.
I think
Hey,
you'd be real
Brock Purdy, a
surprised.
Pro Bowl quarterback, was Mr. Irrelevant. All these picks matter.
Right. I'm just saying. I think you'd be surprised where
I'm
value
willing to
is
do that
found.
actually because we're adding that third too, right?
No, it's 115.
whatever that is. Yeah,
That's a 4th
I'll
round.
do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So Arizona is trading with Indiana or Indianapolis. We are giving up. Let's see.
14
okay.
or 16,
Arizona. There we go.
115.
Gosh. Okay, so
I don't really care to
Trade.
be honest about the thing because I have more than 2 people on my list that I think Indy will be more than happy with. So fuck it.
Yeah.
If I can add another 4th round pick and still get the guy I'm good with, why not?
for sure.
It's not like Indy's going
Okay.
to be competing this year. Sorry, Colts fans. These guys have to hate me by now. If any Colts fan is watching this, or the past one, they have to hate me by now. Guys have a lot of needs, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so 14. What the heck? I'm just going to do it this way so I don't have to find all the other picks. Okay, so
Yeah, the
the
7th
Cardinals
round
are
does
now.
not matter.
Yeah, for sure. The Cardinals are now on the clock, okay? And we moved up for one player and one player only, and that is Mr. Shamar Stewart, the combine darling. I personally love him. I think he's going to be a beast in the NFL. I think it was definitely worth giving up a 4th rounder to move up a couple spots to get him because I do feel somewhat confident that the Falcons could take him. So I didn't want to let that happen, and we got our guy. Shamar Stewart is a Arizona Cardinal. And now with that said, the Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock.
Oh, you were smart because that's who they were taking.
There we go, baby.
Yep, you were very smart. That's
No
good.
wonder you didn't care
all
about all the seventh round picks.
right. With the 15th pick in the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons take Mike Green, edge
All right.
Martian.
I like it. Next best guy at their position of need, which makes a ton of sense because that's probably where I was going to go. I might have went Michael Williams just because I do like his fit in our scheme a little bit more. But with that being said, the Colts are now on the clock.
All right. I felt like I was just here. Let's see. Yeah, there's still a fuck ton of good players left. Once again, I don't know about blue chip, but I mean, solid day one starters.
Right.
3 blue chips in this draft.
So yeah, basically I added the fourth rounder for free. I will go with you know what? These people already hate me. Fuck it.
What?
With the 16th pick now, I have the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
There we go. They get their guy. Feels like that was their guy at 14, and like you said, they kind of added that fourth rounder for free. So I almost feel like that's a no-brainer trade from the Colts if that were to get offered. So yeah, great job there getting your guy, but also adding some picks. So with that being said,
he was just sorry. I'm sorry. He
You're
was
fine.
just as much projected, just as Mason Graham going to the Jaguars.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the only time. The only thing I saw, it was either him or Loveland.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a security blanket. For Anthony Richardson, a safety valve, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, they are. One quarterback's best friend is always tight end.
Yep.
Right. So with that being said, the Bengals are now on the clock.
That is also me.
You're getting a lot of back-to-backs
However-
today, man.
I'm the only one trading.
Yeah, right.
But
What does that
we'll
say?
see. All right, is this where Sanders goes? No. For a $55 million backup. Oh, jeez. Well, unfortunately, the tackles are gone now. I had them trying to take a tackle. There are some good guards still available. However, I think there's two people that really stand out as being like a tier above the rest that are still available. So I'm going to have the Cincinnati Bengals stay put here at 17 and take Michael Williams, edge, Georgia.
That's exactly what I was thinking you were going to say. All right, now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock.
Well, Seattle's going to think long, and hard about taking Shedeur Sanders because Sam Darnold was supposed to be the backup to J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold sucked ass all the way up till this year when he had arguably the greatest or the best offensive quarter in the NFL, or offensive coach in the NFL. And when he showed his ass against the Lions and the Rams, well, plus his contract is friendly, as it's only guaranteed $52 million. So they may have been looking for a quarterback here, but they're gonna digress, and they're gonna take Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, The Ohio State University.
That is a surprise with Matthew Golden on the board. I definitely am surprised Egbuka goes over him, but it does make some sense. They pair him up with his old Ohio State teammate. So now the Buccaneers are on the clock, and man, I'll tell you what, we're looking at Matthew Golden a little bit right now. Oh man,
At
this
Evans
point
is older, Godwin's older.
Yeah, at this point though, I'm wishing we didn't just re-sign Godwin, simply because I would take Golden here. But there is one
Well, then
guy.
why'd you do it?
Well, I didn't. That's why. Damn it.
You're the GM.
I wish. I was not. I'm today, not then. So with that being said, we will take one of my favorite players in the whole draft, Jahad Campbell, who is,
Damn it.
I think he goes to the Bucks in every mock draft we've done so far. So that one seems like it's up there with the Mason Graham and Tyler Warren pick as well.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the Broncos are now on the clock.
Hey, before we hold on one second. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go.
The reason, it's a great point about Golden, but here's the reason why I didn't take him. All right, because I do think Golden is possibly the best receiver in the draft. But could Sam Darnold move around in the pocket? Vikings line is better than the Seahawks. How many times did he hit Jordan Addison deep? Barely anything. He was on his ass. So Ibuka is a better option because he does. Hey, he got his partner from Ohio State with the deep ball. He's a better option on the digs, on the outs, on the posts. Because if Darnold can't get it to him on a fly, get it to Golden on a fly, what's the point? That's all I mean.
I hear you.
Yeah. That's it.
So Denver, it sounds like you got a guy served to you on a silver platter here.
Do I? There is actually three people I'm looking at. Two, one has been mocked by ESPN, every source out there, to Denver 24/7, and the other I have taken, I believe, in the last two drafts were on Denver. But there is like a third option here. I don't want to try to be too smartest man in the room because, like you said, he is just staring me in the face. And I think we're not going to overthink this. And with the 20th pick, we will take Matthew Golden, give Bo Nix a legitimate number one receiver who's not, no offense to Cortland Sutton, but aging, and
Right.
they got rid of Tim Patrick, and they need to refresh that receiver room. And like you said before, it's a deep running back class, but Amarian Hampton has been linked to Denver 1,000 times. So
Yeah. So the Steelers are now on the clock, and Kansas City is interested as well as Houston in moving up. Are you interested in moving down at all here, Pittsburgh?
I could be.
Okay. So the Texans are sitting at 25. We obviously offer pick 25. We'll say pick 25 and our fourth rounder this year, which is, or actually we don't have a fourth rounder. We'll give you pick 25 and pick 89, which is a third rounder, for pick 21 and your fourth round pick, whatever that is.
Make it our fifth round.
Man, I don't know if I can. Let's see where you pick in the fifth round first before I give you a solid answer on that one.
fifth for Pittsburgh,
They are picking
156.
the 20th overall. Nah, I'll stay. I'll stay as Houston.
You want to do anything with the Chiefs?
No, I think, on second thought I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I just feel they're a little too far back right now to move up here.
Okay.
Just throw him a home.
All right. What's
No
that?
big deal. No big deal. Just
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
the
just-
greatest quarterback of all time.
All
Tom
right.
Brady never
Well,
played for the Chiefs. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Steelers are going to take Walter Nolan, defensive tackle. Ole Miss.
Okay. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Now the Chargers are on the clock, and as we all know, I am the GM for the Chargers. We are interested in moving down. If any of you guys are interested in moving up here, I see one name on this board that I could see somebody from the top 5 moving up for. I'm just saying.
Checking my teams.
Brad knows exactly what I'm talking about here, and he shook his head no.
Yeah, Packers are good. I'm going through my
Okay.
teams. Packers are good. Rams, there's enough talent. There's enough meat on the bones. They're good. And then Commanders and Eagles, they don't have enough holes to trade up. So no, I'm good.
All right. Um, man, you know, this feels obvious. Colston Loveland to the Chargers, man. I just feel like if they don't take Loveland, they're going to have to go James Pierce. And I just feel with some of his off the field concerns, I don't know if I would personally feel comfortable not having sat down and have a meeting with him, picking him in the first round. And obviously, Jim Harbaugh, our head coach, they have that connection with Loveland. So we're going to go Colston Loveland, and that will put the Packers on the clock.
And it may be anticlimactic because I'm pretty sure I have taken them with him with the Packers every time, but the Packers will sprint to the podium to take Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia.
Mm.
He's a damn good player, fits a need, and you don't have to move up to get him, and at least so far.
Yeah. Brad, the Vikings are now on the clock, and the Chiefs are interested in moving up. Are you interested in moving down here?
Could be.
All right. We will give you pick 31 and 133.
Nah, I'm good.
Or I'm sorry, I didn't see our third. We'll give you pick 31 and pick 95.
That is 720 points.
I'm good.
Okay. Respectful.
I'd say that was at least a fair offer.
Oh,
The
definitely
updated
fair.
one.
Definitely fair, but I think the needs can fit the number, if you know what I mean still.
Right.
Yeah.
Not reaching here, so.
Holy crap, do the Vikings only have 4 picks the whole draft?
Indeed
I knew they
do.
didn't have a lot, but 24, 97, and then not again until 139.
How about
Damn.
this, Brad? The Texans offer you pick 25 and pick 166 to move up one spot here.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
Do your
Got
thing.
my guy.
Do your thing.
Got the guy they wanted all along. Donovan Edwards.
Oh, the running back for Michigan? All right, cool.
No, Donovan Jackson. Donovan
I was
Jackson.
going to say, I'm like, that's
I
who they
thought I
want?
got you guys there, but okay. They can play with JJ again. No, Donovan Jackson.
No, see, that's funny. I'm glad I didn't trade up now as Houston because I do like Donovan Jackson, but Tyler Booker was always the guy for Houston,
Yeah.
I believe. That's who I was trying to move up for. I do love Donovan Jackson, and as you know, I've picked him before for the Texans, but I do think Booker is quite a talent. And
Oh,
if
he is,
no one,
but sorry, Jackson could play tackle too.
Yeah,
he's
that's
got the
for sure.
versatility.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree there. But if no one is looking to move up here, the Texans will take Tyler Booker.
Good pick.
I'm like, I'm hoping the Lions would, but I don't control
Yeah, I mean, I just personally wouldn't
them.
right
With this
now
board, they
because
wouldn't, but I just really love Booker.
yeah,
So-
I'm a big fan too. So the Rams are now on the clock.
All right. The Rams. You know what? I actually have an opportunity to do something I wanted to do in a past mock, but the way
I
the
know
board
it.
fell, do you?
Shador Sanders, baby, Shador Sanders.
Every,
He fucking
every
could.
pick is-
No, McVay likes him.
It makes
McVay likes
sense.
him. He's,
It
yeah.
makes sense. That's what I thought. As soon as I saw the Rams, I was like, "Oh, here goes Shador." I was hoping
With that
somebody would
system,
trade up for him, but we don't
He'd
need
be
to.
damn
here.
good in that system. Seriously,
Yeah,
I
and
would
gives him
not
a
raise.
year.
I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. I say Stafford
go
is
Jackson
aging. I
Dart.
think he's 37 or 38 now.
Yeah,
Where
he's
the
getting
hell
up
does the
there.
time go, guys? But I remember
Man, we're
watching
almost
draft
there
day
at this point.
However, that would make a lot of sense with the way this board falls, and in real life, that might be the direction they go. However, in our situation where I am the GM, I don't like Sanders as a prospect, so I'm not taking him. But I will say that is at least definitely a talking point and definitely something I can see them doing on Thursday. Me, however, I am debating between two people on the D line because once again, I like having the abundance of riches to go with Frisk and Verse. I am debating between Kenneth Grant and Derek Harmon. I think I'm
There's
going to
also a guy
go.
out there that McVay would take. He likes to roll the dice. James Pierce Jr. He'd do it.
I will
I
say
don't think he'd shy away from them, but
there were some medical concerns about Derek Harmon that were released today. I don't know if you saw them or not, but it's
I did
sounding like
not.
he's going to fall.
You
So
give him the answer to the test. I saw it too.
I did not see that. But
Huh.
actually, let me get a quick look on that.
Makes Pierce look a lot better.
right, true that. Let's see. Trying to think if anybody would want to trade up that I'm drafting for right now, but it's really just Kansas City and Detroit,
Derek
and I do
Harmon
not think so.
injury.
Nope.
Nothing's coming up. What did you guys see?
It was just some. It
There's
wasn't an
nothing.
injury. It was just medical concerns. There was something with his medical.
Yeah, it's not an injury. It's past
Oh,
injury.
okay. Oh, well. All right, then as the Rams GM, I will go with Kenneth Grant then. If I'm stuck between the two and I don't know what is ailing Harmon, I would like to put Kenneth Grant next to Frisk and Verse and just have a dominant D line.
That's valid. It's very valid.
Like they
All
have
right,
bigger knees, but
so
at the same time, the way the board fell, that just is what it is.
right now the Ravens are on the clock.
Baltimore Ravens select Nick. I'm going to worry. Safety. South Carolina.
I like it.
That is a Ravens pick if I've ever fucking seen one.
So I'm going to do something that is unprecedented here. I'm going to do something that we have not seen before. Okay, I'm going to trade with myself. All right. The Detroit Lions are
Veto.
on the clock here, and they're looking to move down because I do like some of the guys available, but I don't love them. I think there's some guys I'd definitely be okay with at 31 that will be there. The Chiefs step up and they offer pick 31 and pick 95 to the Lions. In return, the Lions will give up pick 28 and pick 196 in the 6th round. So the Lions move back. They gain a 3rd round pick. They give up a 6th round pick, and they only move three spots. I do
That's a good
believe
trade.
that's a good trade for both sides. I don't
Yeah.
think the Lions fleeced by any means. So with that being said, I think there is one guy on this board right here. It's Gray Zabel. The Kansas City Chiefs like Gray Zabel, and I do believe that they would move up for him. And I also do believe that there is potential he would get drafted before we were up to pick again. So I didn't really want to make that a possibility and not get our guy as really the only player that I would like as Kansas City right here. There's a couple other ones that I would feel okay about, but
That's a
Zabel
perfect pick for them.
here, yeah,
Perfect
Zabel
pick.
here.
Losing Thudi. Yeah, losing
Yeah, but
Thudi,
they
losing
lost.
Regard. That's a perfect pick.
Yep, they lost Tooney, like you said, and then
Yep.
for those that care about the point chart,
Yep.
the Lions win on that trade in terms of more points. So that is something the Lions could realistically do as well.
Oh, it's
So,
win-win. Kansas
yep.
City needs that dude. It's perfect for them. Perfect pick.
Yeah, thank you. I am trying to get this thing to work, but this is very weird. Pick 95 to Detroit.
Ooh, interesting. I think I just saw the other half of your plan when I was scrolling for prospects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to store a name in the back of my head, and I think that's who you're going to take at 31. So
Yeah,
we'll
you'd
see what
probably be
happens here
right
if you.
because I think we're on the same wavelength here. Depending. I guess it depends. We will see if I could just get this trade to work. Okay. What the
I say
hell
we'll
is
see
going on?
soon enough. Yeah.
I don't understand this trade thing sometimes. It really genuinely does not make any sense.
You mean you
Okay,
didn't want to
Lions.
stay put at 28 for the Lions and take Amari on Hampton?
No, I didn't actually. Surprisingly enough, that
With
wasn't
Gibbs and Montgomery, and
was
I
not on
like an
my
abundance
bingo
of riches,
card.
but you can only have one or two on the field at a time.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so the Chiefs select Gray Zabel, like I said, with the 28th pick, and now the Commanders are on the clock.
Commanders are looking at options.
Personally, I wish I had a quarterback needy team right now because I would be trading up from that second round to get Shador, but I do not think that's going to happen today. I personally do think Shador is a first-round talent. I don't think he's a top 15 guy, though. I think he goes 21 to Pittsburgh if he does fall this far, but we shall see.
I think he
Well, I
goes
will
the first
say,
pick in his first pick day 2 to the Cleveland Browns.
correct. I was about to say, I'm like, as the Browns GM for this scenario, it is something that I could potentially see trading up, but there's no need to jump Washington, Buffalo, Detroit, or Philly. None for a
Or
The
quarterback.
or he
only
So
goes to the Giants. Or he
the
goes to the
only
Giants
thing.
in round 2.
So how much do you value that fifth-year option? That's really what it comes down to.
for other players, I 100% agree with you. But like I said, personally, and I could be wrong, but I've been wrong before. I don't like Sanders enough that I'm too worried about the 5th-year option.
Well,
But
then
yes,
why
if
pick him at
it's
all?
something that I mean, I didn't. I passed on
No, I mean I'm saying
him.
like if you're the Browns, why would you pick him if you
So
don't
you
like
could
him enough to
potentially have
worry about
4
the fifth
years.
year, you know what I mean? Then why even pick him? Just keep pushing. Or take Dart, I guess, if you like him. I don't know if you do or not, but
I like Dart more than Sanders, but I don't like Dart. Like,
right. Gotcha.
yeah, so
I
it's
think they're dead even. I think they're dead even.
yeah, I think Dart has a higher ceiling, but also a lower floor, so it's more risk reward. Um,
I think Dart
but
will end
yeah,
up being a third round pick, personally. Call me crazy, but
I think too many quarterback hungry teams, someone will take him, like the Giants or the Browns. Um,
right.
but yeah, like you know what? For Washington,
I think New Orleans would take him in the second round.
That's
yeah,
valid.
that's yeah.
Or they take Hey, Sanders could be there. All right. If he gets by Pittsburgh, all right, you could
Oh
look
yeah.
at
Yeah.
Browns, Giants, that Browns, Giants, or he could fall to New Orleans. Or he could slip way the fuck down. I mean, dude, way down. If he gets by New Orleans, it's a free fall, and Dion's gonna lose his shit. So.
I don't see him getting past Pittsburgh the second time around, personally.
Oh no, second time around, no. But look how far down that is.
Yeah. I mean, 20 more picks past the second round.
Does
I think.
Pittsburgh? Does Pittsburgh? No, Pittsburgh doesn't have a second round pick. They gave that to Seattle.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah.
Seattle
Okay,
could
that
take
makes
him.
sense. Yeah,
Seattle would be there though.
yeah. So who you got for Washington here?
For Washington, I am going to take they need an edge. I don't know how they feel about guys with potential pass like Pierce, so I'm gonna go with I'm not gonna butcher his name too bad, just Donovan Easy, defensive end, Boston College.
All right.
They need an edge, and he's the highest one on the board that doesn't have a potential off the field issues. I don't know what Pierce's issues are, but I've just heard that they are there.
Huh. Here's Pierce's issues. He took himself out of games at Tennessee and told guys he wasn't going in to protect the fact of his draft status. Now, when he comes up as a free agent, what's going to happen? He's going to do the same fucking thing to a pro team.
To me, that takes him off my board. I would not draft a guy like that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have. I mean, he's worth the gamble in the fourth to me. But
Like the fourth round?
yep,
Oh shit, I would take him from 2 or 3 just based on his talent, but I meant
He
in
ran a
terms of first
4.4.
round.
Just remember he ran a 4.4 at 260 pounds.
and when he
250
decides
pounds.
what he wants to play and what he doesn't want to play,
I won't be too edgy, but there's been a lot of fast runners that don't have success in the NFL.
No, I know, but if we're just talking, pure athlete, I mean,
Oh yeah,
he
he's an
was
athlete, no doubt about that.
one of the
Yeah.
best edge athletes in this combine, but really that we've seen. So I don't think he'll get that far. Personally, if I'm the Lions, I might draft him right here, which I am. So we might see me draft him. So,
Well, Buffalo's up next.
yep, Buffalo's on the clock. But with that being said, based on Brad's comments, I do not think Buffalo's taking him.
Buffalo Bills
Pierce.
taking the 29th pick, James Pierce Jr.
And there we go. I talked him into it. You guys saw how that
Nope,
worked.
Von Miller's gone.
Reverse
Von Miller's
psychology,
gone.
baby.
House money.
Is that who you're
Gotcha.
actually taking?
Is
That's
that your
what I'm
actual
taking.
pick? Okay.
No, no,
Oh, no?
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm like, I almost
I'm
clicked it.
glad you said that because I was about to click his name, and
Oh,
once
you
it's
almost
clicked,
clicked it? No.
once it's clicked, it's picked, buddy. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
all right. I'm sorry. No, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're
Did
good.
not mean
You're
to.
good.
All right. So, with the 29th pick, Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Hairston, corner,
Ooh.
I like it.
Kentucky.
I like it a lot. That's
Now
who I picked in my mock.
that is who I'm taking. So,
Okay.
Now
So now the
that
Lions
he's
are
off
on the
board,
clock.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I say now that he's off the board, I can say that is who I thought was going to be your trade back guy for the Lions. There's
No, it
been
was
several
actually
reports linking him
the
to
guy you
Lions.
took. It was actually the guy you took, like an ass, with the fucking Commanders. So,
Easy.
no big deal. No big deal. But I was like, there's no fucking way they take him. I was like, there's literally no way he doesn't drop. So that's okay. You fucked your own team. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
You'll be mad at yourself in a year and a half when he's got 4 sacks on Jared Goff in the NFC Championship game. No.
That could be it.
So with that being said, man, the Lions really want to trade down again. But the Browns aren't looking to trade up for Shador, which I personally think if the Lions are sitting here at pick 31 and Shador Sanders is sitting there, the New York Giants are busting down our door. Personally, I think we get a good trade going with them, and we get to move back even more. However, this board really didn't fall well for the Lions. The O linemen,
I don't know.
there's not that many left. At edge, there's not that much left. Call me crazy, guys. I'm thinking of drafting JT right here. I really like him. He's a really damn good player, but it is a reach. James Pierce Jr. is who we just got done talking about. And man, I don't see anybody worth it.
There's one
There's
other
no
guy that's
fucking
like
way
jumping
he
out to
goes
me.
to the Lions. There's no fucking way.
I don't know, man. Seems like
There's
there's a
two
will,
guys that are
there's a
standing
way.
out to me personally, but yeah, you're right. It's not the best board, but there's two guys
Board
sitting
is
there
not
that I
great.
wouldn't be mad as a Lions fan if we got.
I mean, I like Princely. He's all right. I like Harmon, but we did see the medical concerns.
There's Landon Jackson, but
Yeah, he's okay. I mean,
Not
he's
a
a
big Jackson guy.
second round guy. Yeah.
No.
I say
you
Harmon
gotta
is
go
one way,
JT.
but
You go JT here, dude. He's fucking good. I don't know
Yeah,
why they
but
have
there is-
him in his first round.
He
I don't
could-
get it.
We could get him in the second though. I think.
I say there's a guy right there on that screen that has met with the Lions on an official visit. At least I'm pretty damn sure he has. Let me double check.
Who-
and I'm just
who are
gonna
you thinking
guess
of?
it myself. Luther Burden.
Carson.
Yeah, I don't like Luther Burden personally, and I was gonna say JMO is
No,
available,
no.
but I don't think any of you guys would trade for him right now.
I mean, there's a
Um,
yeah. I mean, you
But
got
Hold
the
actually-
guard.
Hold
the
on.
guard from Arizona is there.
Yeah, he's a second round pick, I think.
He is. No, he is. I'm just saying for the needs. I mean, Carson Schwezinger, I don't like him.
Yeah.
Darius Alexander, Troy
hang on a
Amos.
second here. If you mentioned the JMO trade, as a non-Lions GM in this situation, I know a team that would definitely like to take JMO.
I know one too, the Patriots. So we'll see. We got a
Yeah, but
bidding
I'm
war
not the
here.
Patriots, so.
I am. I'm the
Oh,
Patriots. That's what I'm saying. We
the
got a bidding war
Carolina
right here.
Panthers would like to have a talk.
Hit me. What you got?
Let me see what our
Oh
disposable
God,
picks will be.
you don't have any in second round.
Ooh.
The Panthers have the Rams' second round pick, 57 overall.
Oh, that one, yeah. Chicago's got theirs.
Um,
There's no way. Lions ain't dropping to 57.
Well, this would be for JMO, not for the pick.
I would take a pick. Oh wait, because you're right, because we don't. That's the only pick we have. Shit. I mean,
Who's gonna
Well,
play?
I'd pay. Because I'm a huge JMO fan, as anyone that watches the show knows. I'm willing to give 57 straight up for JMO,
pass. Patriots would give a better deal.
probably, but that's all I can offer without giving too much.
So, as the Patriots, I think I'd be willing to offer pick 38 and pick 106 for JMO. As the Lions, I don't know if I take that simply because this is a weak wide receiver class. And obviously Luther Burden is there, but I don't love Burden personally. And I'm just not so sure that if we don't take Burden here, that there's going to be a wide receiver available later that we like. At least that, well, man, Isaiah Bond is sitting right there, but he's got some issues.
Yeah, he's got serious issues. I'm telling you
Yeah.
what, I guarantee you 100% J-Mo is not getting moved.
Yeah,
They're
I
in win
mean,
now mode. He's their number 2 receiver. You dance with the devil you know rather than the devil you don't know. And there's not
yeah.
anybody here that even touches holds J-Mo's jock. So there's 100% zero chance he gets traded.
Well, and I disagree simply because how are you going to pay him? We don't have the money to pay JMO in the
Do you
future.
want to win the Super Bowl this year?
I would love to, but I'd also like to win it for the next four years in a row instead
How
of.
about we win? How about
So
we
hold
win
on, hold
one?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out on this one, Brad, because you know how many times you've said on this show, you've come on here and said, "Oh, kick the can, blah 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 blah. I want as many shots at this as possible." That's like your go-to, right? But then when we're talking about JMO, you're like, "Well, let's win one." Okay, I get that. But I also feel the thought process has to stay cohesive. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say you win one. I said win the first one. Big difference.
Sure. No, you're right.
So how
You're
you
right.
gonna win?
You're right.
But you want to win 4. Okay, you don't have a number 2. You go into the season without a number 2. I mean, good luck.
I
Good
mean,
luck.
I think if we did do this trade, Luther Burden is a good enough number 2, personally. And I mean, if you just look at like,
He's a rookie.
yeah. So I mean, we've seen rookie wide receivers, have over 1,700 yards back-to-back years, and I'm not saying he's going to do that, but I'm saying that I think in terms of money-wise, and that's it. Money-wise, it makes sense to trade JMO. That's all I'm saying. I feel if you're Brad Holmes, if you're looking at the future, like he said many times, do you think about it this way, Brad, right? Do you want to keep JMO for $25-30 million a year, or would you rather give Aiden Hutchinson a running mate? Personally, I think I'd prefer to give Hutch a running mate because wide receivers, I love JMO. He's fast. Yeah, he's great, but damn it, they come dime a fucking dozen. And I'm sorry, but JMO is not a fucking CeeDee Lamb. He is not Jamar Chase. He is not Justin Jefferson. He's just not. Period. I mean,
I didn't say he was. Is he
no.
number 1
I'm not.
receiver?
I'm not.
Oh, he's a
No, I
number
don't think
2.
he is. I'm not. But that's my
He's a
point.
number 2.
That's my point, though. Is what I'm saying is, are we going to give him that money, or what? Or what do we value basically when it comes to the future? And I believe. Now, am I going to trade JMO right here? Probably not. I just brought it up as a conversation point. But I do believe it's not outlandish for Brad Holmes to make that trade. That's all I'm saying.
Do we have to pay JMO this year?
Nope, but we have to pay him next year or pick up his 5th-year option. And if we pick up his 5th-year option, that means he's on a 1-year deal, which means we'll get a lot less for him in a trade because then the other team has to pay him. So the way I look at it is you could get, like, let's say the Patriots, they just offered pick 38 and pick 106. That's a second and a fourth round pick for JMO. Now, do I love that? No, I think I'd prefer a little bit more, so I'm not going to take it, but that's a solid offer. Now, next year, when we pick up his fifth-year option, that goes down to a third-round pick, and that's about it, I think. You might get a late second, depending on who the team is. So it just depends on how you value it. So I'm going to pass on the trade simply because I do agree with you personally, Brad. I think it's worth keeping JMO on the team this year. Because
hey, all bets are off after this year. You want to
right,
draft a wide receiver, number 1 next year? Go for it. I got
right.
zero issue with that, but you don't trade him this year. You
No,
just
no.
don't, because you got to get your first Super Bowl to get to your second Super Bowl, and that first one was tough as fuck. And going in there with one proven receiver ain't gonna get it done.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
not. I mean, hey, did we take away Justin Jefferson last year? Did we?
One of the 2 games.
Right. Well, one of the 2 games was a huge game, wasn't it? So I'm just saying, what did their two do? Absolutely zip. I mean, I'm just looking at it that way. You need two proven receivers. Is JMO proven? I think so. 1,000-yard receiver. You don't trade a 1,000-yard receiver. Your number 2, by the way, 1,000-yard receiver when you're trying to win a Super Bowl this year. Next year, all bets are off. Do what you want with them, but not this year.
I agree
Yeah,
with
that's
both of
valid.
you. What both
Yeah,
of you
I
said
know.
is
That's all I
accurate.
mean. You don't trade them this year. After this year, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Even
But
if you
as
want to take Burden this year, Luther Burden value-wise is valued at this pick. He is
Yeah.
valued at this pick. You know what I mean? And then you can see what he does, and then you can trade JMO because then he steps in. So be honest with you, if I'm the Lions here, I'm looking at all this bullshit. I'm taking Luther Burden, who's a first-round talent, the only first-round talent still left on this board.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I just can't. I just can't.
Oh,
Like,
fair enough.
I like
Fair
him, I
enough. I
do, but
see why.
it's
I
just
see
so,
why.
it's, and it comes down to like, kind of like what we just talked about. Like, it comes down to who's going to make the biggest impact next season. Like, I'm fiending for a Super Bowl personally. So it's like, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, yes, I do like Luther Burden. However, what are the odds there's a better wide receiver available next year? Okay, this is crazy because Luther Burden was once looked at as a consensus top 10 pick in this draft. So you're right, he has the talent, but what are the odds that a better player is available next season with our first round pick?
Yeah, it's with the devil now. Let's play this game.
we don't know either, Devil.
Exactly. We don't know.
Okay. Okay, well
So,
let's play this game. Let's play this game. All right. Luther Burden or Josh Conley Jr. Who would you take?
Luther Burden easily. Josh
Okay.
Conley Jr. is a third
Fair
round
enough.
pick.
Fair enough. Luther Burden or Trey Amos?
Luther Burden.
Luther Burden. I'm just going down names here. Luther Burden. I mean, I know Luther Burden or Mason Taylor.
Well, Mason Taylor's a fourth round pick, so.
Right. Luther Burden or Marion Humphreys. Daniel Jeremiah's got Mason Taylor in his top 20, by the way.
I mean, he's
Just
a good
saying.
player, but
Yeah. All right. So obviously you take Burden over Humphreys. What about Burden? What about Burden over Schlesinger from UCLA?
So let's compare different players. So Burden or James Pierce Jr. I think is a lot closer. And Burden versus Derek Harmon, I also think is a lot closer than the other ones because I'm picking the other two over Burden personally right now.
I'll do
as
one
a
for you.
Lions fan.
I'll do one for you, and I probably would do this here. I would either take Luther Burden or I would take Nick Scorton.
I like Nick Scarton a lot. Yeah, he's a solid player. Man,
and you got Darius Alexander out there too.
Yeah, I'm a solid. I like Darius Alexander. My thing right now is just if I'm going to take edge, it's going to be James Pierce Jr. right here. I'm sorry, but the upside is just there.
But they're not going to take. I mean, realistically, Lions aren't going to do it.
But I'm the GM, so
he's the GM.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter what they would do, but that's what I'm saying is like. I don't want to take him for that reason, though, because I do agree he's not necessarily a Lions player. However, that upside, man, if he comes in here and buys into this culture, and I don't know if he will or not, but if he does, oh, shit. I mean, we're talking a beast on the other side.
Nobody's,
However,
yeah, I agree, but he is
yeah,
a piece of shit. That's what one
yeah.
GM called him. An
Well,
anonymous GM called him a piece of shit. I
well,
mean,
you know that will tell on draft day, I guess, what is
right.
what they
Could
think
be a
because
smokescreen to try to get him in the
yeah.
second or third.
But then again, I could see it, at the same time. That could make sense. I mean, it's understandable that he would not be the greatest person. So
Right.
I do think I'm
What
going to
about
take.
Gadlich? What about Gadlich from Georgia?
Yeah, I think he's a second rounder at best,
Yeah.
Oh, it
probably
does. Oh
second
no,
rounder,
hey,
third round pick.
I get it.
To be
I
fair, we're
definitely
only
get it.
2 picks away from the second.
No, I know, but I mean more like a late. Like we could get him
I
in the
know.
second round, is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I think we could possibly get that player in the second. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take what I think is the best fit on the board. I won't say best player because I do believe James Pierce is the best football player on the board. I'm going to go Derek Harmon here, defensive lineman from Oregon. And here's why, okay? Because
Love
I've
it.
said it many times on this show. I believe pass rush up the middle is more valuable than pass rush off the edge. So if you can get an elite pass rusher up the middle, you're probably doing pretty good. And I do think Derek Harmon is one of, if not the best pass rusher in this draft at the defensive tackle position, okay? The medicals obviously are concerning, but I will say they are just rumors right now. There's nothing super solidified in terms of his medical concerns, and I would know that if I really were the GM, so that might, come into play with this pick, and who knows, maybe if I knew the actual details, I wouldn't make this pick, but I don't know, so I'm going to hope and pray that it's nothing really crazy, really bad, something, like a Levi Onwuzurike where he has to take multiple years off, which I don't think it's going to be like that by any means. So I do think the Lions ended up getting a really, really great player who most people would say is a top 20 talent in this draft. They traded down and they still got him. So I would say this is a win for the Lions. I would prefer an edge player. Don't get me wrong. I would prefer it, but with the way the board was
You're
set
not
up,
there.
it's
Not
just
there.
not there exactly. So
What about a smokescreen on those injuries?
yeah,
Brad
I
Holmes
mean,
reality.
specifically spread those
yeah,
rumors.
he could. No, guys, anything. This is
No.
this is all out warfare, man. You can say a guy's got his fucking balls fucking about ready to be cut off. You can say the guy's thinking about being
Would
a
that be a
fucking
pro or a
transgender.
con?
All right, they can go say, you know what? I've heard backdoor that he's a transgender. Seriously. All right, seriously. They'll do any fucking thing, guys. We fucking know that. All right, so Harmon, oh, we've heard some medical. Well, be fucking specific. You
Yep.
don't think anybody's going to ask for the fucking doctor's records and the doctor before his records and the doctor before his records on him? They're going to go all the
Hmm.
way back to when he got his fucking vaccinations at 4 years old. All right, so no, I don't buy it. Smokescreen, just like James Pierce could be saying, "Oh, he's a piece of shit."
Right.
Don't believe anything right now, man. Don't believe anything for real.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I was gonna
never
say
know.
Derek
So
Harmon
he's
is
the best
like,
player on the board.
yep.
You
I
know
have Derek
that
Harmon literally as like a top 5 fit for the Lions.
with
So he's high on
Anzarike,
my
you
list.
knew. Yeah, they knew for value. They knew by looking at the records. They said what he's got. They
Yeah.
didn't smokescreen it. They said what he's got, and they took him in the third.
Yep.
But this guy, they're not saying what he's got.
Right.
So
And
that's
it's
how
not
I mean.
even
I'm
like
with you.
it's
I'm
not
with you,
even like
1,000%.
a team saying it. It's just some guy who like it's not some guy, but it's just a guy who is very known on Twitter who said that there are rumors of him having medical concerns or whatever. So it's like I'm not going to let that take me out of taking a player that good. So, but
I
with that
mean,
being
they're
said, the Eagles are now on the clock with the
yeah,
final pick in the first round.
And much
house
like the
money here
Green,
with the Eagles.
yep,
House
and
money.
much like the Green Bay Packers, the Eagles will sprint to the podium to take James Pierce Jr., defensive end,
Hmm.
Tennessee. They do
Yep.
not care if he's a piece of shit. They do not care what is said about him. Half their team is guys like this, and they win football games.
Yep.
So that is
That's
pretty
very
much
true.
going to sum it up. He is their type of player. He fell right into their laps. They don't have to make a move. And if he can get his head straight, which they seem to have done, I haven't heard many people upset or any new reports on Jalen Carter since he's been drafted there. and they
Yep.
just keep getting good players.
Yeah, and
I'd
that's
rather
what.
have a guy going. I'd rather have a guy going Mach 6 in a car than a guy who pulls himself out of fucking games and refuses to go in. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I would disagree on that one heavily because like that whole thing with that I would just disagree with that one heavily, but I do think that it could be overblown also because it's like okay, there's a difference, right? There's a difference. I coach football. There are some kids who are, for lack of a better term, jackasses, right? And that's what they do. They're just jackasses all the time. And they do shit like that every week where it's like, oh, game's over, take me out. Oh, don't throw me the ball, take me out. Oh, da, da, da. Okay. Then there's kids that have said, take me out the game for whatever reason. So I also think that could be getting overblown because, like you said before, smoke screens, and James Pierce was a player that was a top 5 pick who killed it at the combine and seems to keep falling. So there could be, they do say where there's smoke, there's fire, and there definitely could be fire here, but it also could just be a smoke screen. So I wouldn't be that surprised if, like James brought up with Jalen Carter, if nothing comes of it and he's a great player. I mean, and who knows? Jalen Carter's still very young in his career. A lot could still happen. So who knows? But as of right now, it's looking pretty good for them. And I kind of like to compare this to Nolan Smith as well because they got him in a similar fashion as James Pierce. I mean, great player, great tester, but he fell, and the Eagles swooped him up. And who knows? Maybe the Lions will be kicking themselves next season when James Pierce has 2.5 sacks on him because he's just that damn good. Who knows?
I think he goes to Dallas in the second.
I could see it. I could definitely see it. But with that being said, that will do it for this one, guys. I appreciate you guys for joining me as always. This one was a lot of fun. It's always fun
A lot of fun.
doing
A lot
some
of fun.
trades and making some picks. So we will have another mock draft coming out very soon. This is our final mock. That will be our predictive mock. That's what we think is actually going to happen 100%. So we'll see how that goes. But until then, follow us on Twitter at Michigan or at MI Sports Media. Find us online at misportsmedia.com. Brad is on Twitter at BT8ball, and James is on Twitter at Gullet_James, and I myself am at Jace O'Sweet. We'll catch you guys on the next one. As always, we appreciate you for watching. See ya.